What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Broad Street Boys. And today, me and Caleb are here to just intro spring training because spring training is on Sunday. We are so excited. I can't believe we're already here. I can't believe we have Phillies baseball in less than a week. We're going to go over everything that we've left off on. If you guys remember our last Phillies episode, it was literally about Bo Bichette being a Philly. And then I think, Caleb, like 48 hours later, you're wrong.
Yeah, not even. It did not age well. Yeah, he ended up going to the Mets after it came out that he did agree to the Phillies offer of $200 million for 6 years or something like that.
I think it was 2 years, which is ridiculous for the Phillies.
The Phillies offered him was
Phillies. 6 years. 6 years. Yes.
Yeah. So that happened. Turned into a dumpster fire. A couple days later, Phillies re-signed JT to a 3-year contract worth $45 million.
45.
So not terrible, but kind of running it back, I guess. And I do remember in the last episode saying that we are not going to be running it back, especially with the whole Bichette thing. But that is still. I don't think we're running it back. I still don't think that.
Definitely. Yeah. Go ahead.
We'll get into it later, but there's going to be a lot of new blood, fresh blood. It's not going to be the same team. It might start out looking the same, but I really do believe that there are going to be a lot of really big changes that happen to this roster around midseason.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about all of that, which is going to be fun. Give our opinions on it, and then we're going to also talk about the Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos. I guess I wouldn't even say beef with Dave Dombrowski, but kind of. So we'll go over all of that, and then we're going to give our favorite players to watch in spring training for the Phils. We have a few guys on our list, but we're going to talk about them, mainly young guys. But I also have some guys that I need to see either improve or I need to see in a Phillies uniform. Yeah, so I know we kind of just talked about it, but Bo Bichette is indeed a Met, which was shocking after we literally had him for whatever, and then he flipped for a shorter contract, which I honestly like. We're gonna boo the hell out of him in Citizens Bank Park, but I do kind of get it. I do kind of get it though, with the lockout probably coming and the overall shift to players wanting shorter contract with more guaranteed deals.
Mm-hmm.
I do get it. I think we're really gonna boo him though because it's more like we literally had him like in the bag, and then he just flipped on us, and not even just flipping. Like he didn't just flip to like the Diamondbacks or he didn't flip to like the Marlins. No, he flipped to the Mets. So that's I think what's gonna happen. But yeah,
I said this to you off camera, and obviously the Mets wanted Tucker. Tucker goes to LA, and what I said to you was that the teams in the NL are trying their best to compete with the Dodgers. So they're going to be going after the top free agents. Tucker went. Bichette was up next. And the Mets it may have been a panic signing. They claimed that their plan was they wanted both Tucker and Bichette. It looked to be more of a panic move, but at the same time, it's like you need talent, especially offensive talent, if you want to compete with the Mets. And they did that. And the contract structure I thought was ridiculous because it is 3 years. He's getting $45 million a year, and there's an opt-out after every year. So that says to me it may have been a little bit of a panic one, but also the Kyle Tucker deal. Oh my God, I can't say his last name right now. Got some coffee right now.
Yeah, hey, represent. Hell yeah.
That was 4 years. He was making $60 million a year.
Something ridiculous.
Like you said, the lockout and players taking an absurd amount of money. I wonder if this is in case there is a salary, like if there's like they're just taking as much money as possible now.
Yep.
If that's the case, I don't blame these guys for doing that.
I feel the same way, and I mean, it's no secret that a lockout's coming, and I feel like it was only more evident over the weekend, Caleb. I don't know if you saw both of these, but there's dudes like Bryce Harper and Manny Machado pretty much saying like not blaming the players for taking this much money, which obviously like make your money because the way it is right now. think that kind of shows me that they're going to try to stay pat, so then the players can make as much money, physically possible.
I just saw the Manny one. Well, you were trying to fix yourself up.
Fix myself. But yeah, something very interesting to watch. Just trends of just around. Now the JT thing. I know you said that you didn't hate it. I'm trending to hate it. Not because of JT Realmuto, the player. I think him as a player is way more valuable than his numbers show. The players obviously love throwing to him. They love the counts in the ball games. He calls and whatever. It's just really hard for me to justify 3 years, $45 million for what, a 35-year-old. I don't care what position you play. There's a decline coming. And the funny thing is, to the viewers, you can go back to past Phillies podcasts that we've done. I have not been the biggest JT Realmuto fan, but I have admitted that he did look okay. Like in the back half of the year last year, he was good enough, especially hitting wise. The defense is obviously going to take a hit. That's just with age, but he still calls a great game, which is great. And if he could just hit like 250, then I'm cool with it. It's as soon as you dip below that, I feel like that contract's ridiculous. I guess from another perspective, which I just thought about, is he's definitely going to retire here. There's not a whole lot of people that can say that they've spent a majority of their years here and then they retire as a Philly. So I feel like that's something that is a pretty cool part of all of this. But yeah, so now as we talk about that, we're going to now transition kind of to the Nick Castellanos and Bryce Harper aspects. So if you didn't see, I'm just gonna mention it just in case you didn't see it first, and then I'll let Caleb kind of give his thoughts and I'll give mine. Bryce Harper was in, what would you call it, Caleb? Like an interview type of scenario, with interview or press, not because it wasn't really an interview.
Is this when they were asking him about the comments when he first got to Clearwater?
Yes. Would you consider that an interview? Like,
I'd say I think they're really saying it's an interview. Like they kind of looks like they caught him after he was finishing up doing whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously, with that happening a month ago, and it kind of being still a little fresh, asking Harper what his thoughts are on Dombrowski's recent comments towards his play. I wouldn't say it's an interview, but I mean, he said it didn't really bother him, or didn't motivate him much. I think that part's a lie. It's like, what was it? The next day, he posts on TikTok or Instagram of him taking reps in the batting cage with the shirt saying "not elite." I saw a clip of him today going against a bullpen piece, and he's back to his violent swing. He's taking it to heart. If he's smart, he's going to be a violent player this year.
I totally agree. I think we're going to see an MVP candidate, Bryce Harper, this year if he stays healthy. I feel like Bryce Harper will say. I mean, Bryce Harper is the king of pampering. By the way, I think we all know this, but he's the king of that. So, which is why he said that. But at the same time, you're also thinking like, Bryce Harper's motivated by anything. This guy's a psychopath. This guy's a winner. So, of course, that's going to motivate him. The GM telling him that he's not elite anymore at something. And I totally agree. He looks like more jacked, if that makes sense, this year as well. Like I feel like he looks bigger, stronger.
He looks like he's in. Like
yeah,
I don't think he doesn't do weightlifting anymore, but he looks more. There's more lean muscle there than last year.
100%. And I think that just works to the Phillies' advantage too. If he just grows more power, then he's going to look better. I also think we're going to see him look really good at first base now at full season number 2 or 3 there, and I think there were 2 full season. 3. Okay, so season 3.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever. Who knows?
But he started mid of 23.
Yes. But I feel like we're going to see a really solid defensive player in him as well. So that has me excited about Bryce Harper. But yeah, I think we could both agree that he's obviously going to be motivated by those comments. But whatever. 100%. But then the other aspect of, I guess, not the drama, but kind of, and then we released Nick Castellanos the other day. Nick Castellanos did, however, put out a really nice message to the fans and to the team just in general, which I actually really appreciated. But then he also explained what happened in Miami when he brought a beer into the dugout. Didn't take a sip of it, but brought a beer into the dugout. And very well documented that he was then benched the game after. Caleb, what are your thoughts on that? I'll go after you.
Um, sounds like there's a lot of turmoil and disagreement between Castellanos and Thompson leading up to that night. And when Thompson pulled him from the lineup, I think Castellanos was like, you know what? I'm not this guy. I'm just gonna do my thing. If he doesn't like it, I wonder if he was trying to piss him off because he goes back to the clubhouse, grabs a beer, brings it back to the dugout. Thompson sees it. They start getting into it. JT and Kyle were. I don't know if JT played the game or if he got pulled too. They're both
Yes.
on the bench and trying to like get him to go back into the dugout. If you go back and watch, I think what the start of the seventh inning, you can hear someone like yelling in the dugout, and like the commentator picked up on it, said something about it, and turns out that it was Castellanos screaming at Thompson. So that obviously, like you can't do that. And imagine if they picked him up sitting in the dugout drinking a beer, like that would have been a terrible look.
That's a really bad look. Not even just for the
That is
player,
really bad look.
for the organization. That looks so bad. Like
Mm-hmm.
like you're letting players drink on in the dugout. What are like not even John Kruk like drank in the dugout during the game. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like that's a
Yeah,
great.
like they kept all the drugs and alcohol in the locker
Yeah,
room.
yeah, exactly. They never did it outwardly, like it was fine.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, no, that would have been a huge story if they caught him. But I don't know about you, Caleb, but I think like I'm actually cool with him like coming clean about that. I actually appreciate the honesty and whatever. But it was more his comments in San Diego that bothered me because they asked him about the Padres coach Craig Stammen, I think that's what his name is, or is it Bob Melvin? I they just
I think
Stammen. Who cares? I'm who knows. But moral of the story is that the Padres coach used to be a player, and Nick said explicitly that he appreciated having a coach that used to be a player. And I found that slightly a dig at Rob Thompson because Rob Thompson was more notably as a coach.
it
Yeah.
was.
I didn't love that. I feel like that was like kind of like a low blow, like I'm kind of just being I don't know, maybe just annoyed that he got released, or I don't really know. What do you think? Like I don't really know what to make of that.
I read that Castellanos always thought Thompson was soft and didn't like his approach to managing. Um, you know, like I don't know who the manager was when he was in Cincinnati, but maybe he was like, you know what, I want like a former player to be my next manager. Like I kind of get that. It's like they see the game differently, but
No, I agree
it seems like he was very outspoken towards not liking um, Thompson or Dave Dombrowski.
for sure.
No, not Dombrowski. It was Thompson and Kevin Long, who he just did not like whatsoever.
Yes, actually, yeah. No, I agree. So I just looked it up. It was David Bell was his coach, and I'm pretty sure David Bell was a player, was he not?
Let's look that up too.
I am 80% sure David Bell was a player, and I'm pretty sure he played on the Phillies. But regardless, he probably liked a player's perspective in a different way. And I guess I kind of get him calling Robson's or Rob Thompson. I just combine both names. Rob Thompson's philosophies as soft. Like I kind of get it, but it's I wouldn't say it's soft. It's more laid back and it's more player led than coach led. If that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Say that's soft. I would just say that's just a different way of managing people. Like obviously players, but people in general. Like there's just different types of managers and stuff that kind of let the narrative within the locker room, clubhouse, even like workplace, like in like a professional setting, like kind of letting that be the narrative instead of letting the coach create the narrative. If that makes sense. So that's honestly just
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. But I didn't love that comment though. But who cares? Moving on. Now, okay, finally, we're finally at what we really want to talk about, and in the more positive light of the Phillies, because I'm sick of just hating on all of us because I just did it with the Jared McKinney thing and the Eagles thing before that. So it's time to talk Phillies and it's time to talk spring training. Caleb, give me a few of your favorite players, favorite things that you're just looking forward to. Just give me some of your overviews and then I'll go after you.
Obviously, I'm really excited to watch Hayden Miller, Jesse Crawford. I think Crawford for sure. I think is going to be on the opening day roster. I think he's going to be a starter too. Miller, I would not be surprised if he finds his way onto like starts out as a bench guy. But obviously, I think they want to start him at AAA. That way he's going to have good reps. I don't see that happening right away. I think he's the guy that they pull up mid-season. Aside from those names, the person who I am most excited to see play is actually hurt right now, which I'm really pissed about. I think he can be um, an everyday contributor on the Phillies, and that is Gabriel Rincones Jr.
Hey.
I really liked what he did last year during spring training. Like he got the attention of a lot of the guys on the team, like Schwarber. Schwarber, I know, took him under his wing and was giving him tips and mentoring him a little bit. And I think Rincones being at the major league level with Schwarber and Harper every day will just make him a much better player. And then I think he had an injury during the minor league season last year, which set him back a little bit. But when he came back, I think he finished up the season with just under 20 home runs. So the power is there. His defense is average. He struggles against lefties, but I think that is something that if he can figure out, he'll be a threat. And this is why I think I said this in the Basketball Phillies podcast that we did. If Garcia struggles at all, or if March struggles, I don't think they will hesitate to put Rincones out there just to see what he has. Because I do feel like it is going to be the year where it's obviously they want to be a playoff team. I think one way or another they will be a playoff team, but with being weird, I guess, outfield where you've got Marsh in his fourth full year in Philly, kind of we know what his ceiling is, but we also know that he can't stay healthy. He can't go through a full season healthy. Auto kept his platoon. Maybe there's something there. And then Garcia, him kind of being this, he's a much better version of what Max Kepler ever was. This year is very. Did you see the videos of him? He is huge.
He is jacked.
I know. I texted you and Jake yesterday, but the fans saw him show up and how big he was, and everyone's like, he's got to be the 4 hitter. That dude is massive.
Yeah. Just by looks.
By looks, he could be what the team was missing. He could be what everyone thought Castellanos was supposed to be. But if he struggles, I think this kid is the perfect piece to fill that role.
Yeah.
So he is. Okay. Offensively, as a guy I was excited on the pitching side, I'm excited to watch Alex McFarland and then Zach. No, Kyle, not Zach.
Kyle Brackus.
Kyle Brackus. I think he has such a goofy, weird way of throwing the ball. His release, it's even funkier than Matt Straw. And I think he's gonna be a guy who, if he can put together against righties and figure out to see them, he's gonna be
I agree. I like all of those, honestly. I like that you stuck with Rincones because you've talked about Rincones before, and
I am so high.
I know, and I like it, and even if Rincones is really that good and we need another piece, we could always trade Rincones for someone good too. But almost like a Mick Abel type of thing. If we keep him, then awesome, then we stay young, or we can trade him for someone pretty solid. And I mean, Mick Abel worked out really well because obviously we got Yohan Duran. But
I think the difference between him and Abel came out doing well right away. I don't think he'll ever be number 2. I can see him be a good number 3, maybe number 4. Rincones, what gets me excited about him is the fact that he grew up playing with um, a lot of the top prospects now, like
Mhm.
Leone.
Mhm.
Um, there's another dude. I'm blanking on his name. But like another big power guy. And, like these guys are like posted stuff. Him. I don't know if that's a being a friend thing, but like I do think the talent and the potential is there. It's kind of like Hunter Griffin talking a lot about Aiden Miller and Dante Nori. I will say this before you share who you'll talk about. I think there are four four guys in the minors right now, including Crawford, who I think could make, and I would not be surprised if they do make the opening day roster. That is Crawford and Fernandez. I think every sure right now. I think one way or another he's going to be on the line. Miller and Alex McFarland.
So you think
Because I know
McFarland? Okay.
I think McFarland can't play. So I think they have the best starting pitcher right now, but they might move him to a reliever role. If they move him to a
Mhm.
reliever role, I
Yeah,
think he's going to be a bullpen piece. Easy.
yeah. See, he's an interesting name too because our pitching, I guess, like bullpen is a little better, or I would say actually a lot better than last year. I think going to be more consistent than last year.
Yeah,
So it would be interesting to see how they would slide a young guy like that in there, especially because I'm assuming he won't make the opening day roster, right? But I wonder how they'll slide him in there when Wheeler comes back too. But yeah, right? At least I think.
yeah. Also, is you know if Moses Chastain is supposed to come back this year? I think mid-season this year he's supposed to come back. He's gonna be a dude who I think like once he's back will be up and contributing right away. I think either any any of these guys I think can make like we could trade another dude. I don't think he would be on things. Maybe
Yeah,
for
maybe.
dude.
No, I know, but I think a guy that I'm probably not most excited for, but someone that we're not all super talking about is Dante Nori. I think is going to be interesting. We were talking off air, and we found it interesting that he looks like he's trying out to be a switch hitter, which is unorthodox in the fact that he's trying it as he's trying to come up to the big leagues. But I actually like that they're trying things. And something that I will say is that I meant to mention earlier when Caleb was talking about running it back. I think I'm done thinking about it in like running it back terms because this team is now young in a funny way. We're becoming more young, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I view Aiden Miller as not running it back. I view Crawford as not running it back, and I view Painter as not running it back because we have not seen these guys at the MLB level yet. Um,
Like
like yeah,
I will say this.
Mhm.
It's the start of a new era.
yeah,
At least Cianos, he was one of the big signings. Walker will be done next year. Bone, I don't remember. He will be next year. Stott's future, even I would say, is still up in the air after the season. Yeah, yes, we still have Harper, Schwarber, Turner, and JT, but like every aside from those guys, everyone else is going to be fresh.
I agree. It's
All the young talent that we've drafted since Dombrowski took over, like they're finally at the point where they're ready. I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, it's almost like a new evolution of this team because this team, if you think about it, 2022 they were younger at least. Like all these
Mm-hmm.
guys, like Stott was a young guy, Bone was a young guy, Marsh was a young guy. Like if you really think about it like that, and I feel like it's just kind of like the evolution of baseball. And I mean, some people will see that as like, oh, we didn't get the big name, or some people will see that as, oh, we're this is like a start of a new era. And I'm trying to take the more optimistic approach in that it's more the start of a new era, and I'm like excited to see all these young guys because I mean Miller. I don't think Miller will. Well, okay, let me just say this before I say that. I don't think he's going to make the opening day roster, but unless he has an absolutely electric spring, I think they'll bring him up in like May, and then I think they'll hopefully look to trade Bohm because I've been wanting that for the last 2 years. but I would hope that they're going to try to do something like that and get something out of Bohm. Someone that I am actually surprisingly excited to see is Jonathan Bolin, the guy that we got from Matt Strom. I want to see what he has. He's shown me a lot of. He's younger than what people think. People for some reason view him as like a 29. He's 20. He's actually 26, and and for a bullpen and for a like seventh inning guy, would you say like for a seventh inning guy, that's pretty young. And he's got a really good fastball and pretty good breaking stuff. I really do want to see what he looks like. Something for like the season overall. I'm assuming you're with me, Caleb. I'm excited to see Joan Duran in a full season of Phillies baseball because I think he's going to be able to set up for an absolutely electric year. And I feel like no one's even talking about it. I feel like but you know what I mean? Like the way that he changed our team after we got him is truly how we talked about he would change our team, and that he basically makes the game an 8-inning game. Just get him to the ninth inning with a lead, and 9 times out of 10, he's gonna end it for you. And that's something that I feel like we had none of going into the year last year. So I find that interesting. I'm also interesting to see how Kirkering looks. That's someone that I mean, everybody has like this negative connotation on Kirkering for very good reason. I mean, obviously, it wasn't only his fault, but he was a big reason why we lost. And again, I wouldn't put it all on him, but I'm interested to see how that type of setback for a young kid. People are forgetting that Kirkering even 25 yet? I don't even think so. For a young kid, I want to see how he bounces back from some adversity because I do know that he was the first one to make it down there and to start working out, which I love. I find that like as a fan, that's exactly what you want to see. You know what?
He's 24, but like when I put in Ryan Kirkland, the person that pops up is Ryan Kirkland
Error. But see, this is what I mean. I want to see how he reacts this year to that error, because this is like a moment for a young kid that could either make or break your entire baseball career. You could either let that affect you for the rest of your career, or you could be like, yeah, I don't ever want to have that feeling ever again. And I feel like and he's trending to have that type of mindset. So I am also excited to see him. Just to stay on the bullpen, I want to see just what a consistent Alvarado into Duran bullpen looks like. Because Alvarado with PEDs was really good. Would you agree? He was really good last year. Pre PEDs, pre whatever suspension. He was solid.
Yeah,
And
he was really good.
he was really solid. Yeah.
When he came back, it was clear that he was working on some stuff because he knew that he wouldn't be able to pitch for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love having that strong lefty combo into a strong right.
Yeah, and
you said this, but like people forget that we still have Durant.
I agree.
One thing that we've struggled since Kimbrel 23, like regular season Kimbrel, we didn't have a start, a closer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
24, we were bouncing back and forth between Alvarado. Like we were throwing a bunch of different people in there.
That was the worst.
Last year, he was a similar thing. He was good for Durant. It makes you got someone who is used to their closer role, is confident in the closer role, and someone who can close out games.
100%. And I think, I mean, just speaking of like motivation, I feel like this entire thing's about how we're going to play motivated, I would hope. But I hope that he takes note. He's taking note, and I know that he did take note because he put it on his story that he was not ranked in the top 10 relievers by MLB on Finance. And which is insane. Matt Strom was over him. What are we talking about? In my opinion, he's the best closer in baseball. People can make an argument for, I guess, a very healthy Edwin Diaz, or I don't know, someone else. Sure, go ahead, try your best. But in my opinion, he's the best closer in baseball. And I would love to see how he reacts to that type of, I wouldn't say hate, but opinion. That's kind of what I want to see. Someone else that I am honestly interested to see how they bounce back. I want to see what Brandon Marsh has, Like, is Brandon Marsh cooked? Like, I don't know if he's cooked or not, because if and something else that people forget, and I actually forgot about it until I thought about it pre this episode. Brandon Marsh was really, really good going into that Dodgers series. Like, before that Dodgers series, there was a reason why he was that 5 hitter. Would you agree, Caleb? He was there is a solidified reason why he went from what, the 8 hole to the 5 hole, and it wasn't just because of matchups and they, you know, like that he was a lefty. No, it was because he was smoking hot for the entire month of September. Won us that Brewers game basically by himself. He had 2 or 3 hits against the Brewers, who were actually the 1 seed that year. He had multiple other big hits. I want to see if he can take what he the success that he had at the end of the regular season and kind of implement that into the full season. Because I think this is a really big year for Brandon Marsh, and I think the entire, I guess you could call it the daycare or whatever, but I think it's a very big year for the daycare, because I think that I mean, it's been documented that Dombrowski was trying to shop Alec Bohm, asking way too much for him, but shopping Alec
Mhm.
Bohm. Brandon Marsh had a very disappointing series against the Dodgers, which, not that I was shocked about, but I was just like, like, here we go again. And then Stott looked okay, but it's actually the 2 roommates that I'm very interested to see what they do. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
I agree. Marsh, like we said this earlier, we know what the ceiling is. I still think like he has a lot of
Mhm.
power, like really good.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's because he's not like his pitch selection is not good, or if it's something with his swing. But like if he figures it out, like I think he could easily get 25 home runs, and also like he had a terrible start last year, but he started like 1 for 63 or something like that. And then like he turned it on after the first month. Like he was like one of the best hitters on the team after that.
I agree. He's also someone that kind of rides his like ups and downs as well. Like, when Brandon
Mm-hmm.
Marsh is hot, he's hot and he's hitting like 400. But when he's cold, he's hitting like 100. And it's always good when he's kind of in the middle, hitting like 290. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's those, moral of the story, Bohm and Marsh are the 2 guys that I would like to see either take that next step, or these young guys are coming after your spot. Like seriously, like you have a dude like Rincones who literally plays the corner outfield, waiting to take Brandon Marsh's spot, because he's probably not going to take, unless he platoons with Adolis Garcia, which would work, like you mentioned before. That'd be great. But if Marsh really sucks, they would be like, let's trade Marsh and put Rincones in there. And then obviously with Aiden Miller, that I feel like we haven't really talked too deeply into, but I feel like we don't even need to, because he's gonna be that good. Like he really is gonna be that good. He's the, so I was doing some research. He's the highest. He's our highest prospect rank since like Don Brown, and I'm like position player, that is, since Don Brown, and that's someone that I'm just so super excited as, not only like someone that just watches baseball, like as a fan. I want to see what Aiden Miller looks like. I want to see his, and his swing is beautiful. It's almost, if you haven't seen it, all the viewers out there, I suggest watching it. It is like fundamentally beautiful. It's kind of like Bobby Witt's swing. Would you agree, Caleb? It's kind of like a Bobby Witt swing with a little bit
He
more
does. He
flow.
does. He has a little bit of that in his way. A lot of people are comparing him to David Wright.
Yeah, yeah,
I think is awesome.
that's a good one. Yeah,
So comparing him to Mike Trent, I think he's part of the reason why there was no instant move after Mets got Bichette. So I think Dave was like, okay, if we can get Bichette, we can get him, and then trade some of our younger guys. But if not, like you got Miller just waiting to come up, who's potentially a couple months away from being ready.
yeah, and that's someone I'm super excited to watch just in like spring training against kind of like less comp, but like I want to see him. Not, I mean, he doesn't need to dominate. I think he dominates. I think we might see him opening day, but like even for him just to hit pretty well, that would be interesting to see, just like as a fan. And something else that I will mention as well. I in this run, would you agree? We have not had a whole lot of super high touted like prospects. It's been a lot of like big Harper moves, big Zach Wheeler signings, all of that. Unless you consider someone like, I don't know, Alec Bohm to be a really high, prospect, or someone like that. You know what I mean?
This is why I'm calling it a new era in
Yes.
Philadelphia
Yes.
because we're finally developing prospects and guys who, like Crawford, are set to have a big impact on this team.
Yeah. And that's something that we haven't seen since, like, honestly, like a full team of it was definitely '08, obviously, and a little bit of like the beginning of the 2010s. Would you also agree, Caleb? Like a little bit in the beginning of 2010s, like we were really excited for Don Brown. Then he was amazing for a first half of a season, and then but but he was so good, and he couldn't stop hitting home runs. But then he kind of, obviously tailed out a little bit. But and then we had this giant lull because Ruben Amaro tanked our entire, our
Stole everybody.
prospect. Like, so, but I mean, is it frustrating? Yes, but at the same time, like, I get it. Um, but this is the first time in a while that this team is going to be built up of mainly our own draft picks and prospects, which is something that we can really say in the past, and it's something that successful teams have. Like even like the Dodgers are obviously paying for everybody in like everybody, but they've also had really good prospects that they've had. Like Gavin Lux was a high
Luck was
touted,
good. Well,
yeah.
Will Smith.
Will Smith, like they have had really
Shane.
good, yeah. Tony Gonsolin was really good for a while, and then he stopped. But like, there's exactly like that. Actually, it was actually a lot of their 2020 team, if you think about it, because Bellinger was also for them
Mm-hmm.
when they won the World Series in 2020, when no fans were actually there. Like that, a lot of that team was homegrown, and they kind of built that homegrown, and then just skyrocketed from there. I think that hopefully the Phillies can see this as an opportunity to do something similar to that. Obviously, we don't have the money that the Dodgers have, because I don't think many professional sports teams have the money that the Dodgers have. Yeah, I think that could be something very interesting to just to think about as well. What else? What else? What else do we got, Caleb? Let me try to think. Um, Philadelphia is going to have a ton of sporting events, which is going to be sick. The All-Star game is going to be amazing. I'm excited. Actually, what? Just thinking about it, do you think any Phillies are going to make that home run derby? Like, probably, right?
Yeah. Schwarber.
Short. See, Schwarber would be really cool. What if Harper?
Harper would say no. Like this is where if Miller comes up and he breaks out, see him doing it, get like the young man. But I think it's gonna be Schwarber. I don't think like it could be Garcia. I don't think it's gonna be Garcia. Like Schwarber, they ask him every single year. He even said he said last year like he wants to wait to see what happens this year because he knows it's gonna be in Philly.
That'll be fun.
Again, if there's an injury and he comes out, I think Rincones could be a player.
Yeah, he could be a player. This is true. But I'm
A player for the Derby.
exactly, and I'm honestly just excited to see a home run derby in Citizens Bank Park, because we've seen some very short home runs here. So I think there should be some absolute bombs, especially after the last 2 years. After it being in Globe Life 2 years ago, and then in Seattle last year. No,
Atlanta last year.
Atlanta.
Seattle was 23.
Yes. But those three are big ballparks, like really big ballparks. Less so at Atlanta's right field porch, but as soon as you get into like the left field into the center field, that's a big ballpark. But that'll be definitely interesting to see, the home run derby there.
I want there to be power hitters. I don't want any Jazz Chisholm three. I mean,
Mookie Betts.
that was so
I'm good.
embarrassing.
I don't want to see
Yeah.
I don't want to see Mookie Betts in it. I don't want to see like any of these fun players.
I like Alex Bregman. I mean, it was in Cleveland, which is tough. But he didn't do well. What was that? Like 2019?
Yes, that was a great year. Do you remember that derby was one
Yeah.
of my favorite derbies to this day? That was when Vlad and
Vlad and
Jock
Peterson? Yeah. Yeah.
got into a swing off, but kept doing a swing off until they had to be like, okay, first to two home, or like it was you get three swings, and then you just go instead of like the normal swing off. I thought that was so entertaining, but yeah, I'm just excited for all this like activity to come to Philadelphia. It'll be fun. Do you have anything else? This has been a long one. I think we've hit a lot.
I think we did and everything. Is the big thing I wanted in this one was all the young guys. I think
Impression.
all the guys I wanted to talk about. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We'll probably do another one of these pre like regular season. I would say, Caleb, would you agree? Like I would
yeah.
definitely try to do just like a big outlook of the entire year type of thing and seeing what the roster will be. We'll see what it is. We'll see if Aiden Miller makes it. We'll see if he doesn't. Be on the lookout for the next few weeks. Probably do a Sixers one, and then we could also do a draft one too. We could also do a draft one that'll be fun, like NFL draft.
Oh, yeah. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. But I love draft season. Yeah. But yeah, so but of course be on the lookout. I'm going to try to get back to doing it every week. I'm definitely going to have time every Wednesday night, so I think I'm going to rock that, and then have Caleb come on whenever you're around, which would be great. But yeah, so thanks for always watching. The last Jared McCain one crushed views wise, so I appreciate that. But yeah, keep crushing the socials too. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching and or listening to us today. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, all the things.
Every single thing.
Pretty much every single thing. But yeah, find us all there, and we will see you in the next one. Go Phils. I'm excited to see some spring training. Let's go. See you later.
Peace.